This is the Horse Radio Network.
Greetings, everyone. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily, episode 1351. This time, Dr. Chang from Omega Alpha Equine sits down with the Horses in the Morning hosts, Glenn and Jamie, to talk about the importance of preventative care for your horse.
Going to talk to you about today, Dr. Chang, is preventative care for horses. And I think this is great because the weather is changing so many places. I mean, here it just got cold in the past week, but people are getting their first snowfall. And with that comes problems with horses. And just this weekend on Friday night, I went and fed the horses, and I threw a flake of hay to a horse in our barn named Edward, and I threw the flake and he just looked at it. And then he looked at his belly and looked at the hay, pawed once or twice, and then looked at me. And so I'm like, oh, just that little bit. I'm like, he's colicking, son of a gun. So we call the vet out. She comes out. She tests him. Basically, you know, when the temperature changes, sometimes some of them just don't handle it very well.
Yeah, for sure. One of the toughest sell sometimes is prevention, because, you know, when you preach prevention to people, a lot of people say, well, how do I know if it actually is going to help the horse or not? Because they'll say, you know, I gave them this stuff and they didn't get sick. And then they say, well, maybe they weren't going to get sick anyway, and I just wasted some money. But preventative care, I call it insurance. Right? You may not know if it works exactly the way you want it to, but you know, it's insurance. It helps prevent a lot of problems. One of the things I would stress right now, boost the immune system, because anytime you change the weather, right, what happens is that, you know, it's an extra stress that the horses will have. And when you have that extra stress, what happens is that, you know, the immune system takes a dive. When the immune system takes a dive, right, if you happen to be in a cold climate where you put all your horses together in the barn, well, guess what? One horse has a little sniffle, spreads to everybody. Every horse will get it. Next thing you know, you have horses that have that are frothing with the mucus production. They have a cold. They're not happy campers, right? So one way to help avoid it, boost the immune system. At Omega Alpha, we have the Immune Plus, which actually is a herbal extract that will help boost the immune system. Another thing that I strongly suggest for all the horses when you move them indoors, put them on a good probiotic, put them on the Biotic 8. And the reason again for that is because when they were outside during the fall, etc., they were munching on grass, because, you know, they were getting a lot of probiotics, etc., from the dirt, and they're also picking up a lot of bad bacteria. And if you have horses that have ulcers, well, a lot of that bad bacteria gets in. When you bring them indoors, they don't have access to as much probiotics, bacteria, good or bad, as you would have outdoors. There's also, you know, one way of trying to swing the gut back to your favor is to give them more probiotics, right? Mm-hmm. Keep your gut healthy. You know, some of the things like the gastro effect. I mean, if you have a horse that's prone to ulcers, keep them happy with a little bit of gastro effect. Right. A lot of people, when the show season is done, they stop giving all of your horses any type of supplement. And I said, no. What you do is you cut back. You don't stop altogether, because what happens is the horses are used to having a certain amount of supplements coming into them. So the metabolism is, they don't try to save as much B vitamins. The metabolism doesn't try to save as much minerals, because the metabolism is getting used to the fact that they get a daily dose and they get a lot of it. So all of a sudden, if you stop giving it to them, what happens is that the metabolism is still thinking, hey, we're going to get this stuff all the time. So it'll pump it out as if there's no tomorrow. But then, you know, you set yourself up for other issues if you're not giving it to them. So the idea here, instead of, if you normally give a full scoop of something to them, give them half a scoop, or you can give them a quarter scoop, and you continue it like that when they're off the show season, right? Mm-hmm. The things like joint health, right? It's a big thing, right? And now I know people still exercise their horse during the winter to show people, right? Those folks that down here in Florida, they use them all the time. It's a year-round thing. So I'm not stressing out for them with the joint because I know they will be under the joint maintenance program. But I'm talking about the ones who, have them in the stall, just let them run around and so on. It's a good idea. Give them something for their joints. Keep them healthy.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that's out there.
Absolutely. I mean, I swear by Biotic 8. It has done some really wonderful things for several of my horses. So definitely check that out. The Healthy Horse 4-in-1 solution. Oh my gosh. That's on my Christmas. I'm putting that on my Christmas list right now.
Now's the time you should do a detox. Nobody thinks about doing a detox. It's after show season. Do a detox, right? If you're not showing the horse, do a good detox on them because you built up during show season. There's a lot of cortisol, a lot of stress hormones being built up. They get all sorts of things. You get this, to get that. All that sort of stuff builds up. You do a detox, detoxify the liver. If you don't do anything else for detox, do the liver. Because what happens is the liver is the key organ for detoxification. So basically, if you use our liver flush, what that will do, it speeds up the metabolism of the liver, right? It supports the liver. By support, I mean it provides a lot of antioxidant support to the liver so that during the detoxification, that process generates a lot of free radicals. Free radicals tend to damage tissue in general. So if you have the antioxidant support, you're basically helping support the liver, helping prevent some of that damage, right? But it's a good idea because after detoxification, you have an organ that works a lot. It's a lot more efficient. So when it comes time for show season to start next year, you have a horse that has a healthy liver that can handle a lot of the stresses that's thrown at it.
And I'm looking at it right now, and it's not, gosh, like you said, for insurance, this is not that expensive. You're looking at 32 ounces. It's $40. You spend that, you give it to your horse, and then you've got a healthy horse next spring. I think that's a fantastic idea. And it's funny how when you said detox, in my head, I go, if you do nothing else, do the liver. I've heard you say that so many times. That's awesome. You do nothing else. Do the liver.
I apologize for her impression, though, Dr. Chang. I apologize for that.
He loved it. He loved it. I'm amazing.
That's right. She is.
So one of these, one of the 32 ounces is good for one horse to go through and do the full cleanse.
Right. I would. Yeah, 132 ounces will do the full one horse for the full cleanse. Don't be afraid about dosage because I know a lot of people worry about dosage, and I always say to everybody, anything herbal, right, that's sold to the general public, not bought through your vet, chances the safety margins are very, very, very high. Because when you go through your vet, what happens is the vet then tells you you're doing it under vet supervision. So the vets will their product is usually a little bit on the stronger side, but a retail product, the safety margins are huge because we won't touch anything that even smells where dosage is an issue, right? We stay away from anything that's really dangerous. So don't be afraid to dose the horse sometimes. Sometimes, you need to give them a double dose because I know horses that have high liver enzymes, for example. I'm straying a little bit, but I know if you go see a vet for a horse with high liver enzyme levels, the only thing he can do, because there's nothing that's in the pharmaceutical world, the only thing they say is go put them out in the pasture and it'll sort itself out. Maybe 3-4 months later on, it sorts itself out. If you give them a liver flush, or the more enlightened ones will use the liver flush, some vets will know about things like the milk thistle, which we have both. Those are the go-to products to help actually bring down liver enzyme levels. You can actually see that. You can test that and see that. So you know it's working.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, Dr. Chang, as always, we love having you on. I know you're...
Well, that about wraps it up for today. Thank you again to Dr. Chang for helping us out on the shows. You can learn more about Omega Alpha Equine's full line of herbal supplements at omegaalpha.com. You can ask for them at your local tax store as well. This is Coach Jen, and I'll be back again soon with another tip. Until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.